All right, this is your homework help video, which you do not need to take notes on. For homework 15, instead of alex.com, this is going to be on MathXL, which can be found through the district website, Harupa, what did they call it? Whatever the website is. And then going to pearson.com or Pearson resources. And then once you're at Pearson, it's MathXL. So anyways, I'll show you in class how to get there. Hopefully you can find it. Let me go back to question 1. So this is basically just practicing what we learned right now in the notes. So find the value of x. So these are consecutive angles which add up to 180. Let me go ahead and show you. I have a geom board that we can use. So I need to do 180 minus 72, just like what I was showing you guys in class or in the notes. So I can do 180 and then subtract 72. You can use a calculator or just do the scratch work and borrow, and I get 8108. That's really sloppy. But anyways, go ahead and you would enter your answer just like you would in Alex, and it lets you check. And it's done correctly, so next question. So just remember, when they're consecutive angles, do 180 minus the one that you know, and that gives you the missing one. Opposite angles are congruent, so the one right up here is 72, and then the one across from x is also 108. Okay, so here's like the same question. I just wanted you guys to practice. Again, do 180 minus 70. And okay, so here's a proof, but this is actually like the same proof that we did in the book, in the notes. Let me see what page that was on. So if you look back in the book, that was page, that was page 273. So if you want, and I definitely am, I'm gonna look at page 273 in my book as I go through this. So we're given that it's a parallelogram ABCD. So ABCD, opposite sides are parallel. So we've got our given, and then that AB is parallel to DC. AB is parallel to DC. That is definition of parallelogram. And you can check each one as you go, and it tells you if you're right or wrong. Then this is exactly the same thing as what we did in the book. Angle 1 is congruent to angle 4. Angle 2 is congruent to angle 3. So remember, it's because we have parallel lines cut by transversals, and alt interior angles are congruent. So it doesn't say all of that, but it is the alt interior angles are congruent. You can check it. All right, and then we've got that AB, side AB is congruent to side CD or DC, and that is because of the theorem that opposite sides are congruent. Opposite sides of a parallelogram are congruent. Make sure it says parallelogram, not quadrilateral. Opposite sides of a parallelogram are congruent. Check it, it's correct. All right, and then what is congruent by ASA? So in this case, it's ABE and DCE. We'll see what they have. ABE, and then I said DCE, so not that first one. If it goes AED, no, that's not it. ABE, CDE, that's the one. Anyways, if you get it wrong, you just try again. I think you can just keep answering. All right, then I've got those little sides of the triangles, the AECE, those ones right there, and then the BEDE sides. So that's the CPCTC. Corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. Check your answer. And then the last thing is what we're proving, and it's by definition of bisector. So just make sure it's exactly what it says up here. AC and BD bisect each other at E. Okay, check answer, and it's correct. Okay, so the next question is the same thing, just to, that repetition really, really helps you learn. So I'm not going to go through it again, but you will. Okay, so use a diagram of parallelogram ABCD to find measure of angle D. Measure of angle D. So look at C is given, D is not given. So I need to realize that these are consecutive angles. Go back to my Jamboard, and I would do, they're consecutive angles, so I have to do 180 minus the given angle 104. And then borrow and work it out. So I get 6, 7, 76. So I'm going to check and see if that's right. 76. 76. And it's correct. But I just want to point out to you guys again that measure of angle D is the same as the opposite angle. So if it asked for B as well, it would also be 76. And measure of angle C and A are also the same. Opposite angles are congruent. So 104 at A and 104 at C. And then another question just to practice that, it's asking for measure of angle A. They are consecutive angles, so do 180 minus 74. All right, so here's where it gets a little more complicated. It says use a diagram of parallelogram ABCD to find x. So we did a problem like this in the book on page 276. I was going to say it's almost even the same numbers. So these are opposite sides. In order to solve and find x, I need to set them equal to each other. So I'm going to do x plus 4 equals 2x minus 5. And then I just have to finish solving and get x alone. So I can subtract the x, get the x's on the same side, which is the right side. And I bring down my positive 4. Pay attention to the signs. 2x minus x is 1x, and my minus 5 is still there. But I have to get x alone, so I will then add 5 to the other side. 5 plus 4 is 9. Okay, I kind of ran out of room, but it's going to be 9. So I'm going to see if that's correct and check my answer. Okay, so remember, opposite sides are congruent, so set them equal. And then you get another problem just like it to practice. So remember, if it's opposite sides, just set them equal. Get the x's on one side, get the numbers on the other. So that's what you'll do for the next one to practice. And then over here, it's kind of similar to what we just did. So it says find the value of A in the parallelogram. This time we're given angles, and it has opposite angles. So opposite angles are congruent, just like I did right here, but this time they're angles. So I would set them equal. 2A plus 44 equals 5A minus 4. And then I just want to solve and get A alone. This one I'm going to solve quicker, just to show you guys it can be done pretty quick. I'm going to subtract 2A to both sides, cancel that one out. And then I know I'm going to have to add 4 to the other side, so I'm going to do that step right now as well. So I'm doing 2 steps at once. And then the 4s would cancel. So I have 44 plus 4 is 48. And then 5A minus 2A is 3A. And then I just have to divide by 3. And that is 16. 48 divided by 3 is 16, I think. So I'm going to do 16 and check. And that's done. Okay, so opposite angles are congruent, set them equal and solve. Get the A or X or whatever on one side, get the numbers on the opposite side by doing inverse operations. And then you'll end up getting your variable isolated. Okay, and then this is your last one. I won't work it out, but it's the same idea. You're going to set those two expressions equal to each other and solve and get the A alone. Okay, so good luck. Make sure you get this done on time. You can redo the questions to get 100%. I do score it based off of that. So notice how I skipped a lot of problems. Look at my score. It's at 50%. That is not good. I want you to do this until you get 100%. You got to get 100 because I do put that percentage in as your grade. Your homework grades should be 100s. So keep on trying until you get 100.